Happy is the man who finds a true friend, and far happier is he who finds that true friend in his wife. It is not a lack of love, but a lack of friendship that makes unhappy marriages. Marriage is not about age, it's about finding the right person. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. To the world, you may be one person, but to one person, you may be the world. If there is such a thing as a good marriage, it is because it resembles friendship, rather than love. What counts in making a happy marriage is not so much how compatible you are, but how you deal with incompatibility. Marriage, ultimately, is the practice of becoming passionate friends. By all means marry. If you get a good wife, you'll become happy. If you get a bad one, you'll become a philosopher. The great marriages are partnerships. It can't be a great marriage without being a partnership. A good marriage is the union of two good forgivers. When a man opens a car door for his wife, it's either a new car or a new wife. Love has nothing to do with what you are expecting to get, only with what you are expecting to give, which is everything. To keep your marriage brimming with love in the loving cup, whenever you're wrong admit it, whenever you're right shut up. One advantage of marriage is that when you fall out of love with him or he falls out of love with you, it keeps you together until you fall in again. Marriage is an alliance entered into by a man who can't sleep with the window shut, and a woman who can't sleep with the window open. A great marriage is not when the perfect couple comes together. It is when an imperfect couple learns to enjoy their differences. A happy marriage is a selfless journey in which the happiness of another person is essential to your own. Never marry at all, Dorian. Men marry because they are tired, women, because they are curious, both are disappointed. I don't want to be married just to be married. I can't think of anything lonelier than spending the rest of my life with someone I can't talk to, or worse, someone I can't be silent with. I know enough to know that no woman should ever marry a man who hated his mother. You know it's never 50-50 in a marriage. It's always 70-30, or 60-40. Someone falls in love first. Someone puts someone else up on a pedestal. Someone works very hard to keep things rolling smoothly, someone else sails along for the ride. Marriage is neither heaven nor hell, it is simply purgatory. When marrying, ask yourself this question: do you believe that you will be able to converse well with this person into your old age? Everything else in marriage is transitory. There is nothing nobler or more admirable than when two people who see eye to eye keep house as man and wife, confounding their enemies and delighting their friends. I have learned that only two things are necessary to keep one's wife happy. First, let her think she's having her own way. And second, let her have it. The difficulty with marriage is that we fall in love with a personality, but must live with a character. In a happy marriage it is the wife who provides the climate, and the husband the landscape. Marriage must incessantly contend with a monster that devours everything: familiarity. If you want to read about love and marriage, you've got to buy two separate books. There is nothing in the world like the devotion of a married woman. It is a thing no married man knows anything about. Keep your eyes wide open before marriage, half shut afterwards. Where there's marriage without love, there will be love without marriage. I think the best thing I can do is to be a distraction. A husband lives and breathes his work all day long. If he comes home to more table thumping, how can the poor man ever relax? Don't marry the person you think you can live with, marry only the individual you think you can't live without. A husband is what is left of a lover, after the nerve has been extracted. Marriage is an attempt to solve problems together which you didn't even have when you were on your own. Only choose in marriage a man whom you would choose as a friend, if he were a woman. Any intelligent woman who reads the marriage contract, and then goes into it, deserves all the consequences. Before marriage, a girl has to make love to a man to hold him. After marriage, she has to hold him to make love to him. He that loves not his wife and children feeds a lioness at home, and broods a nest of sorrows. Never get married in college. It's hard to get a start if a prospective employer finds you've already made one mistake. All that a husband or wife really wants is to be pitted a little, praised a little, and appreciated a little. Men have a much better time of it than women. For one thing, they marry later. For another thing, they die earlier. Love in marriage should be the accomplishment of a beautiful dream, and not, as it too often is, the end. The secret of a happy marriage is finding the right person. You know they're right if you love to be with them all the time. Marriage is like putting your hand into a bag of snakes in the hope of pulling out an eel. The real act of marriage takes place in the heart, not in the ballroom or church or synagogue. It's a choice you make, not just on your wedding day, but over and over again, and that choice is reflected in the way you treat your husband or wife. We are properly ready for marriage when we are strong enough to embrace a life of frustration. Marriage is miserable unless you find the right person that is your soulmate, and that takes a lot of looking. Thank you for watching. Which quote did you like the most? Click the subscribe button and take advantage of the future videos about the most important topics that influence our life.